Alright guys, gonna make a video real quick. So there's been a lot of talk about sacrificing in Safuu. I just pulled out some screenshots from the Discord of some ideas that I think are really cool. Not necessarily good, because I think a sacrifice is a betrayal to everybody who's held Safuu all this time. But even if you hold through the sacrifice, just like Tiki Barman did, the price will come back up after sacrifice. So it's kind of just a temporary betrayal to people who held Safuu, if you just continue to hold your Safuu, because Safuu V1, I'm talking about the original Safuu, will continue to live even after a sacrifice, because that liquidity is locked for 12.5 years. So no matter what they do, no matter how much is sacrificed, Safuu V1 will still exist for 12.5 years. They cannot get that much liquidity out of there. There's $1.5 million of liquidity in there. I think at most they can get like half, maybe not even that. So that means there'll still be a good amount, like close to $1 million of liquidity, which is plenty for a token. Like that's a crazy amount of liquidity still. So a sacrifice would provide opportunities. It would get the price to a Safuu sacrifice I'm talking about, for whatever, for Uxie or whatever the hell they're talking about, because I don't even know at this point. I'm so confused. But a sacrifice would get the price to drop drastically, which would provide another opportunity, just like we had back in November, to degen in, to a really low price, and then whales would jump in, pump that price like crazy. And with that price being super low, and with whales jumping in at super low prices, the supply would get burned up like crazy. I mean, we could potentially see the price drop by half with all that action. We could get under 10 million easily with all this stuff, and circulating supply, I mean. And then after that, we could launch Revive, because Revive is ready to go. And we could change the percentages of Revive to where half of the taxes of Revive are all going to buyback and burn Safuu, instead of like 1% burn and 2% to the council, because the council doesn't need any more money. They have $180,000. They don't need any more money. Okay, if they can't make something happen with $180,000, then that's a lot of money. Okay, I know a thing or two about creating a token now. I'm not a professional at it, but I know it doesn't cost that much. So you can do a lot with $180,000. I forgot to put the garbage out. Oh well. Where's Roscoe? Where did Roscoe go? There he is. Hold on a second, I need to find my dog. Oh, he's over there. Alright, so, sorry about that. Garbage truck passing by, and I was making sure my dog wasn't out in the yard, or in the street. So, yeah. What we could do after the sacrifice, because the sacrifice would provide abundant opportunities for Safuu. And listen, you can just hold through all of this, just like Tiki Barman did through the first sacrifice, which was crazy. This first sacrifice was even crazier because we know full well that Brian tried to take the liquidity. Like, people literally saw him trying to take the liquidity. For what reason? Who knows? For philanthropy, most likely. So like, the first sacrifice was 100 million times more risky than this sacrifice will be for anybody who holds through it. So you can just hold. You can just keep holding your Safuu, because what's going to happen is the price will dip very hard, but don't panic, because it will shoot right back up, and it will shoot right past where it is now, where it was a month ago, 2 months ago. It'll shoot up to $1 probably. It will finally hit that $1. And then what the council can do, because they have $180,000 of council funds, that money they can keep for themselves. But all future SIF money should be used for 100% buyback and burn, which is what Safuu should have always been. There you go. There you go. And with that $180,000, they can develop Safuu V2, which can be a hyper-deflationary token with a low supply, because that's what the community wants. And if we vote on it, Safuu V2 can even feed into Safuu V1, because Safuu V1 is the granddaddy of them all. All right, everything came out of Safuu V1, so we need to give it its due respect. It's the granddaddy of them all. It's the great granddaddy of Uxie, and it has lots of illegitimate children like Calf and Kiwi and Cosmic Force. So we need to respect our elders. You know what I'm saying? So, in summary, if a sacrifice does happen, I think it is It is a bit of a betrayal, but at the same time, you can hold through it. You can. If you're a Safuu holder now, just hold through the sacrifice, because the price will pump afterward, just like it did in November. Not financial advice, all right? But this is what I believe will happen. The price will pump like crazy, since the price will be low, and people will be buying that low price. The burning will be crazy. The SIF will get pumped up like crazy, which can be a massive buyback and burn if the council pulls their heads out of their butts and goes back to 100% buyback and burn with the SIF funds, because they have $180,000 already in their council funds that they can do a lot of stuff with. They don't need all that damn money. But they can keep their council funds. They can keep the $180,000 to do what they want with. Okay, but let future SIF money go to 100% buyback and burn. We need to give Brian his 25%, all right, because he's owed that. He's the founder, and he's the one who created this Safuu community. He's the reason why we're all here. So he gets his 25% cut of the SIF, no problem. But the other 75% goes to buyback and burn, all right? And the volume will be crazy, because the price will be lower, will have lowered, and the volume, the circulating supply will have lowered to like under 10 million probably by then, like very quickly. So this sacrifice is, it's good and bad. So it would definitely be a catalyst to jumpstart Safuu again, V1. And then they could work on V2 while V1 is going crazy, and like in a good way. And while Revive is doing its thing on the side, the council could use the $180,000 to develop V2. They can develop it for Vulcan if they want, I don't really care. But $180,000 is more than enough to develop V2. And then as a community, we can come together and market it. We don't need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars marketing a damn token. We can do it as a community. So there's my ideas, guys. I was gonna read some screenshots, but that's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching.